Association through the combined federal campaign. By designating a monthly payroll deduction using 12037, you help AFA continue to fight for your family. So when you complete your CFC form, remember, AFA's number is 12037. And thank you for your help.
This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh. Boeing says it's ready to get back to the bargaining table after its largest union went on strike this morning. Carmen Roberts has more.
Boeing's machinist union voted to go on strike for the first time in 16 years after rejecting a contract offer with a 25% pay raise over 4 years. Union member Adam Vogel.
The whole contract's unfair. They're taking too much away from us without giving us anything.
96% of the 33,000 union members, including Broderick Conway, voted to walk out.
We're hoping that the second offer is what we're looking for. If not, we're just going to keep going against them, and we're going to keep striking.
The strike halts production on the 737 and may cost Boeing $100 million a day. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
Vice President Kamala Harris faces scrutiny for saying she has changed her stance on fracking, which she once said she wanted to ban. Pennsylvania Republican Senate candidate Dave McCormick emphasizing the importance of fracking in his Commonwealth.
This is the single most important industry. We have 600,000 jobs in Pennsylvania from fracking, but that's just the beginning of what it could be if we had energy dominance and unlocked the potential. And Kamala Harris has said many times over that she wanted to ban fracking and transition energy workers.
Former President Trump talks about why he won't do another debate during a stop in Tucson, Arizona.
Former President Trump calling his debate performance a monumental victory, responding to Vice President Harris suggesting they do another.
But when a prize fighter loses a fight, you've seen a lot of fights, right? The first words out of that fighter's mouth is, I want a rematch. I want a rematch.
Slamming ABC moderators for correcting him, calling it partisan interference, telling a crowd if elected again, he'll end all taxes on overtime.
That gives people more of an incentive to work. It gives the companies it's a lot easier to get the people.
Also touting a plan to ban taxes on Social Security benefits for seniors. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Some officials are wondering if problems with the post office could lead to trouble for the presidential election. Jill Nadeau explains.
The National Association of Secretaries of State and local election officials are sounding the alarm over potential problems with the U.S. Postal Service. In a letter addressed to Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, election administrators highlighted problems with delayed delivery of mail-in ballots. They said late-arriving ballots postmarked on time often miss the deadline to be counted. But the Postal Service says it delivered almost 99% of mail-in ballots on time in the 2022 election and that it's well prepared to handle election mail.
Rupert Murdoch, the chairman emeritus of Fox News, is slowly passing control of the cable network to his son Lachlan. Steve Jordahl reports on what Fox might look like in a few years.
Rupert Murdoch owns a media empire that includes Sky News in Australia, The Wall Street Journal, and Fox News. But he's 93 years old and is trying to put in place an orderly transition for when he passes away. The Fox News part of the empire is now in the hands of Rupert's son, Lachlan. Bill D'Agostino of Media Research Center says the younger Murdoch has different political views than his father.
I wouldn't say that Lachlan is a lefty by any stretch, but he's definitely the kind of soft neoliberal sort of mind, which I would say if you're hoping for Fox to kind of become more conservative than they have been trending in the last 5 years or so, Lachlan is not really your guy.
The good news, he says, is that both Murdochs are capitalists at heart and will probably not want to fool around too much with the cable news network that's been rated #1 for more than 22 years.
I think it is primarily profit-driven. I think that, sort of the stereotype of like, well, look, it's all about ratings with these people is a lot more true with somebody like Lachlan Murdoch.
What would happen if Fox News were to move left? D'Agostino says there are other conservative networks waiting in the wings, but the landscape would probably look a lot like phone companies did after the breakup of Ma Bell in 1982.
Well, there'd be a big upheaval in right-wing media, in conservative media, because Fox is still very much the chief aggregator of a lot of conservative news.
I'm Steve Jordahl.
More news online at afn.net and on the AFN mobile app. I'm Rusty Pugh.
Do you want to prepare for God's calling on your life to ministry? Many people have a sense that God is calling them to ministry, but they don't know the next step to take. Here's a step that may be for you. Wesley Biblical Seminary offers a new Bachelor of Arts in Christian Ministry that's entirely online, and it will prepare you for whatever ministry God calls you to next. We want to equip you with knowledge and tools you need to confidently fulfill the calling that God has put on your life. Learn more at wbs.edu. That's wbs.edu.
It's First Time Caller Day on Trivia Friday. The number to call with your question or your answer to a question is 888-589-8840.
It is first-time callers, so start lining up, folks. If you've never been on the show with us, today could be your day.
So first-time callers only today. Now we're going to ask 3 questions each.
The quack of a duck does not produce an echo. Is that true or false?
That falls under the category of it's just wrong.
Yes.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. Let's see. Today's September the 13th. Whoa.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Good thing I'm not superstitious. Or suspicious.
That's the voice of Ed Vitagliano, the non-superstitious person. JJ Jasper. Good morning, JJ.
Good morning. I just want to say I can't remember the name of my homing pigeon, but I'm sure it will come back to me. Hey, look.
Yeah,
40,
you need some explanation.
No, 40 and under, that just completely went over your head. So can I offer something up for the whippersnappers?
Yeah, absolutely, the whippersnappers.
Did you know what is 1,000 times better than Instagram? Insta-kilogram. 1,000 times better, I promise.
Well,
look it up.
I got some bad news for you. There are a lot of kids who are still in school who have no idea what that joke means.
That a kilogram is 1,000 times bigger than a gram.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me an Instagram the other day. Sometimes you can. I don't subscribe.
But you can get one without being on Instagram.
I guess you can look at it.
Yes.
Anyway, it said for further no subscribe. And I said I'm not subscribing to anything else.
No, I'm the same.
I don't care what I miss.
I'm not.
All right, let me ask you if you guys think I'm wrong about this.
Okay. We're going to waste some judgment on you.
Yes.
One way or another.
I have, 1,700 friends on Facebook, something absurd. Okay. And most of them are from our listeners, most of those.
Yeah.
But the last 2 weeks, I just said, I'm just not taking any more friend requests. Is that bad? I
think so. I think it's horrible.
You think it's horrible?
Yeah, I think it's sinful.
I think you just cut it all off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the reason.
Go off.
For those of you who have sent one, is the first thing I have to do is to go and search my friends to see if you're not already a friend and make sure this is not like someone scamming me. And then I can, and it's just I'm just exhausted.
I know. I understand.
I'm exhausted.
I'm just thankful I never signed up for Facebook in the first place.
Yeah, I was just messing with you, Ed. I don't
No,
like
listen.
that. Hey, I do want to go back to the homing pigeon. So back in the day, they would, this is legit, boys and girls, pull up a chair. They would write a little note, tie the note around the little pigeon's leg, send it off, and the GPS and the little pigeon's head would get where it was supposed to go. Mm-hmm. They'd read the note and return the favor, and it would come back. And for that kind of communication, it was pretty effective, except like Labor Day weekend, opening dove season. You know, wait, I thought you told me you sent that check. The check was in the. Yeah, I did. I sent it Labor Day weekend.
I could have swore that was a dove. All right, so that's one of those things you want to go, who did this the first time?
Yes.
Hey, you see that bird up there, that pigeon? I'm going to write a note, put it on his leg, and I think it'd go to Oklahoma. What do you think, Bill?
You know, you had to start out putting a lot of crumbs to where you wanted it to go.
How did you first figure out that first of all, how could you tell which pigeon's which to know which one was coming back to the house?
I know. Trivia Friday it is. We're going to take your calls with your first-time callers only today.
That's right.
First-time callers only today. You call in. We have 3 trivia questions each, and you ask and answer. Ask your trivia. We'll answer one of ours. If you answer the mystery question correctly, you will hear this sound. That's the beloved cowbell. The beloved cowbell shall ring, and all the world will know you've won yourself an AFR hat, a cap. We've got
Really
a
nice.
really nice AFR cap that we're going to send you. If you answer the mystery question correctly, you will win that prize. So there you go. Also, you have to be 11 years old or older to call in. And what,
Can we give the phone number?
What other? Yeah, give the phone number for the first-time caller.
Here's the phone number, 888-589-8840. So if you've never been on the air with us, call this number. Maybe you can get on the program. 888-589-8840. It is Trivia Friday. We like
what?
It's what?
I'm sorry. What did you say? It's trivia. I do that too. I don't know. We slur the word trivia.
What did I say? Twivia?
Twivia. Yeah.
Twivia.
You Twivia.
It's Twivia. Twivia Friday.
So we wabbit.
So we wabbit.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, listen. We
all have our falls.
Yes.
Faults. I shouldn't have pointed to.
We all have our falls.
Falls, which was a slur of flaws and faults. So it came back to me real quick.
Yeah.
Camera did.
Or
karma. One of the
Camera.
other. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
No, listen.
Turn it. I'm gonna do JJ.
I don't think
Melody
you can.
said JJ, you can't turn it off.
I don't think you can.
Yeah. Stop.
I think you can turn it off. All right. So is that it?
We got anything left?
Let's go.
I think that's
Say?
it.
All right, go ahead. Go
Here
ahead.
Here are my 3 questions.
Fire away.
Counting probes and other unmanned spacecraft, how many planets have human beings landed on? Now, obviously not counting Earth. Counting probes and other unmanned spacecraft, how many planets have human beings landed on?
Can I just
in our
say,
solar system?
as a middle-aged man that goes to a lot of doctor's appointments, when you said probe, I just got triggered because
you lost me at probe.
I got a little. You see this sweat beating up on my forehead. Here, Mr. Jasper, just put this gown on. That
Yeah,
has no
that's all we
back
need
in
to
it.
say about that. I think everybody knows what we're talking about.
All right, second question. Who were the presidential candidates in the 1972 race for the White House? I do try to do one of these every week until Election Day, and frankly, I'll be glad when Election Day gets here so I can stop doing these.
We'll be glad for other reasons.
Yes.
Most Americans will be.
The main 2 political parties only. That's what I'm asking. Who were the presidential candidates in the 1972 race for the White House? And third question. Baby porcupines are called porcupets. Is that true or false? Baby porcupines are called porcupets.
What are baby sharks called?
True or false? Oh man, don't. Now we're getting serious. You start getting that song gets stuck. All right, I'm out of here. That's
all right. My turn.
Yes.
All right.
Go for it.
Here we go. First question from the Bible. Where in the Bible does it say, "For they have sown the wind and shall reap the whirlwind"? Where in the Bible does it say, "For they have sown the wind and they shall reap the whirlwind"?
Good question. You asked that before the show. I got it wrong.
Well, it's just the book. You don't have to know exactly where it is. And then second question, what is a shape with 8 sides called? What is a shape with 8 sides called? Third question, true or false, talking Star Wars movie. By the way, James Earl Jones, he passed away on Monday at 93.
Well, okay. What character did he play, Tim?
In what movie?
Star Wars.
Darth Vader.
Oh,
Voice of Darth Vader.
Fist bump
All right.
for you.
Okay, well, look, this may be a bit of a trick question. And here's the question, true or false. As the voice of Darth Vader, did James Earl Jones say, "Luke, I am your father"?
That's a great question.
Or let me say it this way. James Earl Jones said, "Luke, I am your father." True or false?
Good.
To which Luke said, "No way." No way.
All right, Tim, you're
all
up.
right, man, I'm up. Okay, all right, so this first question I have is a 2-part question and and so if you answer both, here's the deal. If you answer both parts of the question and you don't have to look it up. If you look it up, that's fine. That's the way we learn, right? Or you talk to somebody else.
Right.
But if you just know this because of your previous study, then we're going to send you an AFR cap, all right? An AFR cap. If you can get this 2-part question right from the Bible. Here's the first part of the question. Who were the first 3 kings of Israel? Name them in order.
Oh, wow.
That's the first part.
Good question. Oh, the first part.
That's the first part. So the second part is which king made Jerusalem the capital of Israel?
Oh, okay. Good, very good questions.
Good follow-up.
So it's who were the first 3 kings of Israel?
In order.
Name them in order. And which king made Jerusalem the capital of Israel? If you can answer that conglomerate of questions correctly without having to look it up or ask somebody, then we'll send you an AFR and we'll clap for you.
That's a good deal. Yeah, we'll clap.
Clap for you. My second question, and JJ knows the answer to this one, but I want to know what is the main ingredient found in most bricks? What is the main ingredient found in most bricks? What's the answer to that question? JJ, you were a brick mason for
bricklayer for 10 years.
For 10 years.
Yes, sir.
My third question is from the movie Cinderella, the Disney movie Cinderella. What are the names of Cinderella's 2 stepsisters in that movie? What are the names of Cinderella's 2 stepsisters in the Disney classic Cinderella? Let's go.
All right. It is first-time callers, folks, but our first caller this week is actually leftover from last week. We try to do
We're having
that.
leftovers?
We're having leftovers. We're having leftover
good for
Matt.
that.
Leftover Matt from Ohio. Matt, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hello, how are you guys today?
I'm doing well, Matt. Thank you for asking, sir. You want to ask, answer, or do both?
I'd like to do both.
All right. Which one you want to try to answer?
I'm going to try the 1972 presidential candidates.
All right. Who were the presidential candidates in the 1972 race for the White House, Matt?
I'm going to say George McGovern and Richard Nixon.
That is true.
Nicely done. Way to start us out, Matt, right out of the gate.
Who won? Matt?
Nobody.
Oh wow.
I didn't see that coming.
Well, that was
Richard Nixon won.
Yeah, but wasn't that his reelection?
It was his reelection.
It was.
And it was a blowout. I think that was the last time that a Republican won the state of Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken.
But then Watergate happened right after that, right?
Right. So, hey, well done, Matt. Hey, what's your question for us?
It's a baseball trivia question, and I'm sure it'll be probably easy for all of you. Who was in the on-deck circle in 1951 when Bobby Thompson hit the shot heard around the world?
Tim's going to know this.
Probably Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle?
Nope.
What you said? What year?
51.
No,
51.
Okay. It's that preceded Mickey Mantle. You said Robbie Thompson.
Bobby Thompson.
Bobby Thompson
hit the home run.
All right. I'll take one other guess at it. Yogi Berra.
Nope.
Yeah.
Right. Who was it?
I have no idea.
I'm surprised I stumped you guys, but that's good. Well, Mickey Mantle was not on, but he was the answer I'm going to tell you was Willie Mays was on deck.
Wow.
Willie Mays was on deck?
Yep. He would have been the next batter if Thompson hadn't hit that home run and put him into the World Series.
Who was on deck? I'm sorry.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
Never heard of him.
Yep.
Wait. So that. Okay. Just real quick. I'm not an expert on the 50s in baseball, but so Robbie Thompson.
Bobby.
He played for the New York Giants.
Giants.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I was thinking Yankees. My bad. All right. So anyway, good question.
Now 51 was also Mantle's rookie year, the same as Mays.
Okay.
Wow. What a loaded team.
You're not kidding.
Well, they weren't on the same team.
Oh, they weren't. Oh, that's
hey,
the Yankees.
Matt, thank you so much. Thank you for listening to AFR. And, boy, you got that correct.
That was a great question.
Right out of the chute. Hey, guys, I want to give a shout-out to some we've got some folks watching the show as well as listening. My friend Sarah Bell, a neighbor and a dear friend. In fact, she is the executive director of First Choice Pregnancy Center in New Albany, Mississippi, Chris and Sarah. But they have some relatives, Sandy and Kathy Bullock from Abilene, Texas, and they've been listening maybe like 15 or 20 years, as long as we've been in Abilene. So I want to say hi to them, and they're taking the tour of the ministry here.
All right. Salute.
And Sandy, man, but he said Sandy Bullock, when people say that quickly, yeah, Sandy Bullock's coming over. And when he shows up, they go, wow, you look a lot different in your movies, Kind of like Sandy Koufax we were talking about, ball players.
Back to the phones, Ed.
All right. We go to Iowa, and Jim is on the line. Jim, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hi there.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah, Jim, where are you calling from in Iowa?
I am calling from Tonka, Iowa.
Tonka. I drove one of those.
Tonka.
Tonka.
Where is that near? Where is that near?
It's you were in Britt a number of years ago for a football game.
Yes,
we
sir.
Are about 20 miles. We are about 20 miles northwest of there.
Kind of over from Mason City. We were in Britt, and the people were remarkable. Out in the middle
high
of
school
farmland.
thing you
Yes,
guys did?
Friday night high school
You
football.
and Ryan Shank?
That's right. And we got to get in a parade. We went to the pep rally, and the game was amazing. They won by a whisker. It was just epic.
Is that where y'all were carjacked? I remember
That's a different story.
Oh, that was going to St. Louis?
No, that was a movie that you watched.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
Sorry.
never happened to us.
All right, Jim, ask, answer, or both. We're ready.
I will do both today.
Okay, which one do you want to answer?
The kings of Israel.
All right, this is for the cap. You gonna go for all the answers to my multi question here? All right, here.
Yes, we are.
Okay, all right. Here's the first part of it. Who were the first three kings of Israel, and name them in order, Jim?
Okay, it was Saul, David, and Solomon.
Okay, that is correct. Saul was first, David second, and Solomon third. So 1, 2, 3. You got that correctly. Now the second part of the question for the hat, for the AFR
Here we go.
hat.
Drum roll.
Which king made Jerusalem the capital of Israel, Jim?
Well, Solomon built the temple, but I believe his father David moved the capital to Jerusalem.
That is correct.
Nice.
Way to go.
Wow, you just won a cap.
David moved.
Thank you.
Made Jerusalem the cap. Now, did you say we? Were you working in with somebody?
You can say cahoots on the radio.
Can I?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I am.
You have to have a shot for that.
I'm a cabinet builder. and I'm working today with my partner Gary.
Okay. Well, the reason I ask, I'm going to send you and Gary.
Oh, there you go.
Fantastic.
How
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. That way y'all don't have to share it.
Hey, what's the name of what is the name of the cabinet shop there in Iowa?
We just go by post construction.
Hey.
All right.
Make sure we
post construction. Good.
Anyway, way to go. Yeah. So just to review here, because we do like to promote the Holy Bible here and the story of God and the children of Israel. The first three kings of Israel were Saul, David, and Solomon, and then the who made Jerusalem the capital of Israel? That was
King David.
King David.
Wonderful.
All right, Jim, go ahead. Fire away with your question for us.
Okay. Because we are from Iowa, the tall corn state, my question is, true or false? On an ear of corn, there are always an even number of kernels around the circumference of an ear of corn. True or false?
Oh, wow. That is that's diving deep into
sure is
into the corn world right there.
Okay, don't say anything, Jim. And by the way, when we're finished with you on the radio, don't hang up because we're going to put you on hold.
Yeah, we got to send you two hats.
Don't say yes or no. We're going to talk amongst ourselves. I'm guessing that the reason he's asking it is because it's true.
Let's say true. I have a garden each year, and Jim, I went all out and tried to prepare the soil. My corn, I'm not making this up, 9 feet 10 inches tall.
Even with as little rain as we had?
Yeah, well, it was a lot of rain back during the spring.
Are we talking about? You're talking about?
You have rows of corn, so you count them all the way around. Are they even?
When you peel the corn back?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so you're looking at the yellow.
When you
shuck it.
Looking at the yellow. Yes.
And you're saying the circumference, is it all the same? All the way down the...
No, it's even number.
Because you have rows.
Oh, I don't... Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to say yes.
I'll go with you.
I'm going to say yes.
That is absolutely true.
All right. We learned something.
Every ear of corn has an even number of rows of kernels.
Isn't that amazing how the Lord does what he does with snowflakes and corn on the cob and all of
What's
his
the
other
hidden
creation?
message there, though, for us?
You have to read Daniel.
How do we spiritualize this?
You have to read Daniel, and then while you looking at a ear of corn, it'll all come to you.
Okay.
It'll all come to
Read Daniel?
Yes, sir.
While I'm looking at it.
Or while you're eating some roast meat.
All right, thank you, Jim. Have a good day.
Hang on. We're going to put you on
Yes,
hold,
sir.
Jim. And
may your cabinets be done well.
Yes, we'll send out 2 caps for post-construction.
Hey, and then these fellas talked about how his grandfather always told him that when one door closes, another door opens. And he said he was a wise fellow, but a terrible cabinet maker. When one door closes, another one opens.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah. Back
All
to
right,
the phone.
Alabama. That's where we're going. Alan is on the line. Alan, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hey, good to be on air.
Thank you, Alan. Appreciate it. Where are you calling from?
Muscle Shoals.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Good area.
wonderful.
Quad Cities.
Okay, you want to ask, answer, or both, Alan?
I'm going to try and do both.
All right. Which one do you want to answer?
I want to try that one about the winds.
The wind?
Oh, yeah, here you
from
go.
the Bible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Where in the Bible does it say, for they have sown the wind, and they shall reap the whirlwind?
Is that Ecclesiastes?
No, but that sounds like something you would think was in Ecclesiastes, but it's not. Good. You took a stab at it. Good try.
guess.
You've narrowed it down now.
That's right.
There's only 65 books remaining, so it's good job, Alan.
Making it better for somebody else.
That's what Alan wanted. A good smart aleck this morning. You get his day off to us.
Hey, Alan, what's your question for us?
This is about Alabama football.
All right, Tim
tell
and
me
Ed are ready.
Tell me the name of the last Alabama head coach, not named Saban, to coach Alabama in a bowl game.
In a bowl game?
Yes.
Well, that's whoever got fired leading up to Saban, because they always go to a bowl game. Well, maybe
That's a
not.
long
Maybe
time
not one
back.
year. 1 year. Okay, you had
Maybe the one before him.
Give me 1 second. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think.
What's the name of the one who was also a Green Bay Packer coach?
Well, anyway.
Yeah, I can't.
You go ahead. Can you give us an initials?
Sure can.
Go.
JK.
JK.
Can you give us?
I don't know.
Can you give us
the
next 2 letters?
Seemed like one of those coaches, like he didn't even make it to the first season because he got in trouble for going to a strip bar or something like that. That's what I remember, but I don't think that was the coach leading up to Saban. But anyway,
All right,
what's the name of?
What's the answer?
The answer is Joe Kynes.
Joe Kynes. Yeah, he was.
Is that the one you're talking about?
No, this is a different fella. Anyway.
Mike Shula was the coach, and he got fired, and they had 1 game remaining, and so they promoted the defensive coordinator to head coach. He coached one game in a bowl, and I guess he got fired.
All right.
Yeah, they let you lose 2 games, then you're out. At Alabama, kind of the standard there.
Hey, thank you,
so
Alan.
They go through some coaches.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Alan. We'll be back momentarily. We'll repeat our questions that have gone unanswered here heretofore and continue rolling on here with Trivia Friday. Stay with us.
It's my turn.
Here is your host for My Turn, Don Wildman.
There's a very ancient legend about a Persian ruler who had 4 sons. His sons were often critical of other people. This was a habit which the father detested very much, so he decided to teach his sons a lesson about being critical. One winter, he sent one of the sons on a journey to look at a mango tree. During the following spring, he sent another of the sons to visit the very same tree. When summer came, he sent the 3rd son to see the tree, and finally, that fall, he sent the 4th son to see the tree. Then the wise old king called all the sons together and asked them about the mango tree. The one who went in the winter described the tree as an old stump. The son who went in the spring said that the tree didn't look like an old stump, but that it was a very beautiful green. The 3rd son said that both of the reports were wrong. He was the son who had visited the tree in the summer, and he said that the tree was covered over with beautiful blossoms. Finally, the 4th son spoke up, the one who had visited the tree during the autumn. He said the tree had fruit which tasted like the finest of all fruits. After his sons had made their report, the father spoke. Each of you has told what you saw, and each of you is right. The difference is that each of you saw the tree at a different season. People are like that mango tree. They are bad and good. They are ugly and beautiful. You can see them in different seasons. Try to see each person as the last of you saw the mango tree at its best. Well, the truth of the matter is that each of us are both good and bad, beautiful and ugly. We can, if we desire, look for the bad and ugly in people, and if that is what we desire to see, then that is what we will see. But if we have enough love in us, we can also see the good and beautiful in people. It all depends on what we're looking for. None of us are without faults. It is true that our faults may not be the same as those of others, and it's equally as true that our faults may not be as glaring as those of others. But in either case, we cannot deny our faults. Carry criticism in your attitude if you desire. It will in no way benefit you. It will not gain for you any friends nor respect, neither will it make you a better person. It will only serve eventually to lead you to loneliness. For throughout the world you cannot find one person who enjoys the company of a continual critic. If you desire to enjoy people and have people enjoy you, then you must look for the good and beautiful. If you want a poem for it, here it is. There's so much good in the worst of us, and so much bad in the best of us, that it hardly becomes any of us to talk about the rest of us. And if you want a scripture for it, here it is. First remove the log which is in your eye, and then you can see to remove the speck which is in your brother's eye.
This has been My Turn with Don Wildman, a production of the American Family Association.
For he has rescued us from the dominion of darkness and brought us into the kingdom of the Son he loves. Colossians 1:13.
American Family Radio.
Here's the story of a lovely lady who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold, like their mother, the youngest one in curls.
It's the story of a man named Brady who was busy with 3 boys of his own. They were formed and living all together, yet they were all alone. Till the one day when the lady met this fellow.
Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. The Brady Bunch.
Oh, those crazy Brady
How long did
kids.
that last? Like 3 years, 4 years?
I don't know. It went on too long, I can tell you that.
It was. Oh, really? You weren't a fan?
No.
Back to back with the Partridge Family on Friday nights on ABC.
Yeah. My sisters liked it, so we wound up watching it.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of corny.
Yeah.
You know, I was
You
a
wanted to-
Daniel Boone fan.
I
and
got you.
Batman and
You were more masculine.
Yeah.
Your TV opportunity.
Now, I will say, as far as technology goes, that was real clever how they had the bingo card kind of thing where everybody's picture was popping up and they were looking down at each other and across at each other while they were. That was pretty ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's repeat our questions, fellas.
All right, here are I have 2 original questions, and I'll add one. Counting probes and other unmanned spacecraft, how many planets have human beings landed on, not counting Earth? All right, so that's that question for you space and NASA lovers.
You spaced out people.
You spaced out people. Second question, baby porcupines are called porcupets. Is that true or false? By the way, tip of the hat to John, who sent that question.
Tip of the AFR hat.
Tip of the AFR hat to John, who sent that in. And then third question, I'll add this. Sharks fall into what class of animal? Mammal or fish? Sharks fall into what class of animal? Mammal or fish?
You never want to get close enough to observe.
Yeah, you don't want to ask them.
No. No.
Here's what I've got. First question from the Bible. Where in the Bible does it say, for they have sown the wind and shall reap the whirlwind? It's not in Ecclesiastes. That was a good guess earlier. Where in the Bible does it say, for they have sown the wind and they shall reap the whirlwind? Second question, what is a shape with 8 sides called? Third question, thinking about the Star Wars movie, true or false? James Earl Jones said, Luke, I am your father. Is that true or false?
All right, here am I. I got 2 questions right now. What is the main ingredient found in most bricks? JJ was a brick mason for 10 years. He knows the answer to that. What is the main ingredient found in most bricks?
I was a blockhead growing up. That's what my dad called me. But I don't know.
So there's
I don't
that
know the
connection.
answer. Yeah, there's that connection.
What do you got, brick for brain, son? All right, so my second question, in the Disney classic movie Cinderella, what are the names of Cinderella's 2 stepsisters? What are the names of Cinderella's 2 stepsisters? All right, go.
All right.
Hey, before you do that, excuse me for saying go and then stopping you. We have this show and any of our shows here on American Family Radio, we have podcast of. So if you miss a Trivia Friday, for example, and you want to go back and listen to it, it's very easy to do. Just go to afr.net, click on the banner. It says Trivia Friday. And there you'll find the Trivia Friday shows from, I don't know, a couple of years probably. And you can listen on demand. So go to, if you want to check out those podcasts, Trivia Friday or any of the other shows we do, just go to afr.net. Okay, back to the phones now.
All right, we go to Ohio, and Ron is on the line. Ron, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hello. Thank you.
Hey, Ron, where do you live in Ohio?
Marion, Ohio.
Okay. Have any of your ducks from the city park been gone missing, or y'all keeping up with that?
No.
Okay.
No, not. We're farther north than of Springfield. We're well north of that, so.
So the ducks are safe.
I think so.
In your town,
as far as he knows.
Okay, as far as you know.
Yeah.
I almost said something about Springfield, Ohio, and I said, well, I better not, because that's my thing about the cats and the ducks going missing. But you were a faithful friend, Tim, to bring that up.
All right, Ron, ask, answer, or both.
I'll try both.
All right, which one do you want to answer?
I was debating between the brick one and the Cinderella one. I'll do the Cinderella one, I guess.
Okay.
Anastasia and Drizella.
The question is, in Disney's Cinderella classic movie, what are the names of Cinderella's 2 stepsisters? And you say the answer is what?
Anastasia and Drizella.
Yes, you got it.
Nice,
got it right.
Done.
That's, I mean, Anastasia, I remembered that one, but I didn't remember the Drizella.
I didn't remember either one.
Is anybody even named Drizella anymore? And
it was one of the top names this year for people having new babies.
Drusilla?
Yes.
Wow.
Not in this country.
Why do I want to say?
In another country, I think Transylvania.
But and then she went on to.
Where's my daughter, Drusilla?
All right, Ron. Good answer. You are correct, sir. Now fire away. What do you got for us?
Well, I have a tree in my backyard, and I was going to give you some characteristics and see if you guys could name it.
All right, go.
Okay, so it's got large leaves on it, large, broad leaves. It flowers in the spring, and it has long string bean-like pods on it when it goes to seed or whatever.
Sound like you're describing a UFO you saw, like out in the field somewhere. And I don't know.
Pods. I'm gonna take a chance. Can I throw a
Yeah,
guess
you go.
out there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say maybe a catawba tree.
That is correct.
Wow.
JJ Jasper
JJ.
knows his
Said the
trees.
tree surgeon for 10 years.
So what? I'm not sure.
Very, very rare, and a lot of people don't know this, but the old timers do. A catawba tree, the things that he explained, plus it almost looks like green beans. And then there's a specialty worm that gets on there called a catawba worm. And you gather up those worms and use that for bait, and the fish go crazy. You absolutely 100% of the time will catch fish. Now, it's rare to ever see a catawba tree, but it's kind of like whenever the elms, a blight went through and killed all the elms, many years ago, and you hear about elm trees, but you rarely see one.
How do you
and
spell
you don't
that?
see too many. I'm not really sure how you spell it, but catawba tree. I think C-A something or other, but catawba worm. Am I right on all that?
Oh, I don't know.
Ron? Yeah, well, you all go out there and get some of those worms, Ron, only a certain time of year, kind of like a fuzzy caterpillar. Well, no, it's kind of a green worm. But
I'm looking at it.
You can catch some fish with that for sure.
Catawba tree.
It just looks like a regular tree, but those little green worms, fat green worms.
Well, it's C-A-T-A-L-P-A. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, catawba tree.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, so you have one right now in your backyard, huh? Well.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a good question.
I transplanted it from my grandparents' farm, so.
Yeah, hang on to that because I really do think those are rare these days.
Okay, it says the catalpa tree, if that's the way you pronounce it, is found in forests from southern Illinois and Indiana to western Tennessee and Arkansas. So obviously makes it into Ohio because, you transplanted it, though. From where?
It was down towards Marengo.
Okay, on the border? Like on the,
no, it's north of Columbus, if you know where Columbus is.
Oh, yeah. Columbus is.
Ron,
yeah, all
thanks
right.
for that.
Thank you, brother.
Have a good weekend.
That's it's called, you can look it up. It's a really
catawba tree. Yeah, pretty. My grandmother had one in her yard.
How do
It's the only one I've ever seen.
Okay, it's spelled C-A-T-A-L-P-A.
Yeah. I'm just the old timers and what he said, and the old timers in Kentucky, they call it catawba tree, catawba worm.
Replace the L with a V.
There you go.
Makes sense. Yeah. All right, let's go back to the phones.
All right, we go to Texas, and James is on the line. James, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Hey, James, we're doing great, my friend. Where are you listening in Texas there?
Belton, Texas, 60 miles north of Austin.
Okay.
All right.
Toward Waco?
Yes, sir. It would be south of Waco, about 33 miles.
I got you.
Hey, I'm not going to be near there, but I'm going to be in Texas next Saturday. Not tomorrow, but next Saturday. Bonham, Texas, Fannin Pregnancy Center, New Life Cottage. If you're nearby, you're invited. The multi-purpose center there in Bonham, and it's a ticketed event. But I would love for our Texas listeners that are nearby to come out and help support that pregnancy center.
Amen.
All right,
Okay.
All right, James. James, you want to ask, answer, or both here on Trivia Friday?
I want to answer that question about what the main ingredient is in a brick.
Yes, okay. The question James is going to answer from Texas is what is the main ingredient found in most bricks?
I would say it would be sand.
Sand is a common ingredient in bricks, but it's not the main.
Not the main ingredient.
Not the main ingredient.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's a good guess. Sand is like number 2, you know, and some bricks I think it may be the main. But in most bricks that you see, like used to make houses and such.
And you use sand and mortar, which may be what he's thinking about too.
Right. But there's another ingredient that's the main ingredient in most bricks. But James, a good guess, my friend. Go ahead with your question for us.
Hey, if you're looking at a blueprint and it has these letters MEP, what does that stand for?
MEP?
MEP. Yes, sir. What does it refer to in a blueprint?
The bathroom?
No.
Are you serious? Serious, Clark?
I'm just kidding. MEP. Where do I pee?
Oh God, that's
yeah.
that was tacky. But
hey, I think we're stumped. Tell us the answer.
I don't know.
10-year-old Ed popped in your head, didn't it?
Exactly what happened.
What?
MEP. I should know this, but
yeah,
I
on a
don't.
blueprint,
On a
like
blueprint.
an architect hands you a blueprint. It says MEP.
Right.
I don't know. What does it mean, James? Tell us.
Mechanical, electrical, plumbing refers to those 3 divisions.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay, is that what
there
you are?
Sir?
Which one of those are you?
I'm construction safety. I worked 33 years in construction safety near Fort Hood.
Good.
Okay, so I mean, so you've seen a lot of blueprints, is what you're saying.
Well,
and
yes, sir. Way too many.
How many times has OSHA nabbed you? We only got nabbed once and fined. How about with you?
It's too many to count after 32 years. Probably, I've been on site with them at least 10 or 12 times.
Yeah. I think we were standing on one foot and didn't have our eye squinted enough and maybe didn't have enough fire extinguishers in each hand, that sort of thing.
Yep.
Oh, so you talking about the feds?
Yep.
They
got us once.
The feds.
Right.
You're talking about work site safety.
Yeah.
people.
I'm not a fan. If your hard hat's just turned a little sideways, like, we got you.
They got a lot of rules and regulations.
Got a lot of rules, and I'm sure they keep people safe, so that's good.
I wonder if there are like certain personalities that gravitate towards that job. You know, the people who just enjoy. I got you.
Like they give them one bullet.
Yeah.
Kind of a personality.
That's right.
Hey, no, there's good people out there that work for OSHA.
Yeah, James. Thank you, brother. That's a very good question. We appreciate hearing from you, James. They're in north of Austin, between Austin and Waco.
Thank you, James.
You're listening to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. Let's repeat our questions, fellas.
All right. First question. Counting probes and other unmanned spacecraft, how many planets have human beings landed on? Not counting Earth, so 2 additional planets. Second question. Baby porcupines are called porcupets. Is that true or false? And then third question. Sharks fall into what class of animal, mammal or fish? That's what I've got.
Here's what I've got. Where in the Bible does it say, for they have sown the wind and they shall reap the whirlwind? Second question, what is a shape with 8 sides called? What is a shape with 8 sides called? Third question, true or false? Thinking about James Earl Jones, who passed away Monday at 93. Here's the question. Did James Earl Jones, as the voice of Darth Vader, did he say, Luke, I am your father? Did he say that? Or he said that, true or false?
Okay, true or false question. I got 2 questions left here. One is, what is the main ingredient in most bricks? And the ingredient sand was just guessed. And that is a common ingredient in bricks, but that's not the most dominant ingredient in most bricks. So I want to know the answer to that question. Also, a new question. There are 4 time zones in the continental United States. Name them and name them properly, not slang. You know, I want to know the proper name of the 4 time zones in the U.S., continental U.S., not
I
didn't think there was any slang.
I was trying to think of a slang.
There's slang. You'll recognize it when we get to it. Okay. You're listening to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. Tim, Ed, and JJ. The American Family Radio is what you're listening to. Back to the phones, Ed.
All right, we're going to stay in Texas, and Penny is on the line. Penny is 11 years old, just under the wire. Penny, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hi, thank you.
Hey, Penny, will you stand up? Because you have to be this tall to be on the program, okay?
Hey.
Okay. No, I'm teasing with you. But, Penny, good to hear from you in Texas. Where do you live there?
I live in Monahans, Texas.
Okay. If I'm looking at the map of Texas, what's the biggest city you're close by?
I'm west of Odessa.
Okay.
Oil country.
Okay.
Yeah,
Midland, Odessa.
The Midland, Odessa area. Absolutely. Well, we just had some friends come by who listen in Abilene, which is probably 100 miles or so maybe from Midland, Odessa. All right, Penny, you want to ask, answer, or both?
I'm going to do both.
Okay. Which one do you want to answer?
I want to answer the shape.
Okay, here's the question, Penny. What is a shape with 8 sides called?
An octagon.
Octagon.
Yes.
I used to fight in those back when I was like 37. I was kind of old at the time, but I needed the money.
Old, but ferocious.
Cage fighter.
Yeah.
Paid a price, but you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You do what you got to do.
You do. That's right. You got to make the mortgage payment.
Penny, what's your question for us? Nice job.
Who dipped 7 times in the Jordan River?
Who dipped?
Who got dipped 7
Okay,
times?
Penny, we're going to talk amongst ourselves here for just a minute. Okay, it was a leper. Somebody had leprosy.
Yeah, a
what
king
was
who
that?
had leprosy, and his name's on the tip of my tongue, and he went to Elijah or Elisha, and he didn't even come outside, and the king was so put off by that. Wait, I'm the king. He's not even going to come out. He sent his servant to say, go dip yourself 7 times, and he almost didn't do it, but then he obeyed and did that, and people say, what if he'd only done it 5 times or 6 times?
Right.
But his servant handled all that. Then his servant got real greedy, and it didn't go well for him. But I can't remember the king's name, but I do remember the story.
But that is an excellent question,
Yes.
Penny. What's the answer? Tim, do you have a guess on this?
No.
Okay. What's the answer, Penny?
His name is Naaman, and he was not the king. He was a high official.
High official.
Oh,
Naaman.
well played.
That's
Naaman? That was his. Okay.
Naaman.
Where is that in the Bible, Penny? Can you tell us?
I do not know.
Okay.
Well, and Penny, a little later in that story, so Naaman, he got healed. He said, here, I want to give you all this gold, silver, all these changes of clothing. And the prophet said, look, this is a gift from God.
Right.
I'm not going to do this. He goes on his way. And then his faithful servant, who in other places has been very, very faithful, other stories, he just like, why did you let all that loot get away?
Yeah.
He goes after him and said, hey, the prophet changed his mind. And he got that for himself. And then he got the leprosy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So moral of that story is what exactly?
Greed, lying, a whole lot of other things.
Yeah.
Penny, thanks for knowing about the Bible,
Penny.
loving Jesus, and you have a great weekend. Thank you and your family for listening to AFR.
Good to hear from Penny, 11 years old, from the great state of.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Texas.
Yeah,
Where?
I was just going to say she sounded perfectly fine and confident on air, knowing that millions of people could be listening.
Yeah,
I'm always impressed with some of these.
I was too. Real perky and real confident.
All right, we're going to go to Oklahoma, and Paula is on the line. Paula, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Thank you.
Hey, Paula, first-time caller. Where do you listen?
We are in Muldrow, Oklahoma. We're about 20 miles west of Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Okay. Well, good to. I had some friends that lived in. Was it called Salem Springs? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, we're not too far from there.
Yeah, just across the state line there. Well, listen, thanks for calling, Paula. And you want to ask, answer, or both here on Trivia Friday?
We're going to do both, and
Okay.
I'm with my 13-year-old son, Ranger. He was going to answer the one about the king, so he knew that one to get the hat, but it was already answered, so we're going to try the one about the porcupine.
All right, Paula, here's the question.
You know what? I'm going to give him a hat if they get this right.
Okay.
Because because they knew the answer.
First of all, I just like the name Ranger.
Yeah,
That's
Very
cool. That's a
cool.
cool name.
Yeah, it's a cool name. Yeah.
All right. So for an AFR hat, here's the question for Paula and Ranger. Baby porcupines are called porcupets. Is that true or false?
True.
It is 100% true.
Whoa, way to go.
Porcupets.
Ranger, how'd you know that? Ranger, you there? Paula?
Yeah, I thought I knew it, but I had to look it up to make sure.
Okay.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah,
Very
so,
cool.
So it's called
Porcupets.
Porcupets.
Yeah.
So it's PORCUPETTES.
Hey, Ranger, you ever seen any porcupets?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah.
You know, those were a big hit one Christmas. You had Soap on a Rope, and you had Porky Pets, Clackers, kind of all right there together.
Pet rocks,
That's
lava
right.
lamps.
That's right. All right there together. That Porky Pet, that was a great gift. You opened that on Christmas morning.
All right, Ranger's got him a hat.
Well, we need a question from them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and ask your question, Paula or Ranger. Go ahead, fire away.
Okay, can you name the 5 Great Lakes?
Okay.
Here we go. We got Lake Erie, Lake Michigan,
Superior,
Ontario.
We
Did we say Erie?
Erie. We
Somebody
said Erie.
Erie.
Scary to think about, but
Sometimes I lose track of what we said.
All right, Michigan, Superior, Erie, Ontario, and it's that stepsister lake that we can't remember.
I can remember St. Lawrence River. Which one are we
Niagara
missing?
Falls. That's not a lake, though.
No, I can't. I don't know what we're missing.
You'll know it when he says it.
Yeah.
All right, which one do we miss?
It's Huron. So the first letter of each one of them, it spells Homes, Homes. So it's Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior.
Okay, you didn't just help us. You helped a lot of students out there.
Homes.
That's going to really help on the test. Homes.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to remember that.
Yeah, that's how you remember the 5 Great Lakes.
There you go.
Thanks
for that tip.
Do all the Great Lakes? Do you know, Paula? Do all the Great Lakes border Canada? I don't know.
I really don't know.
Michigan would. But do all the Erie would, right?
There's your homework for this weekend.
That's a good trivia question.
That is. Remember that for next week.
Yeah. Thank you, Paula and Ranger.
And stay on the line. We're going to put you on hold, and Cindy Roberts will get your information, and we'll send that hat out for Ranger.
So I got to tell you this on the air, or I'll forget. We're talking about that porcupine thing. We had some folks over at the house last night, our guests who were here, and they talked about they were saying nice things about our sweet dog, and they said their dog had gotten in with a porcupine about 5 different times and still hasn't learned his lesson. They started showing on the phone this dog's nose with all these porcupine needles, and that's the first time I've ever seen that. Then he'd go back out there and tangle with the porcupine again and again and again. 3 times, 5 times, I forget. But I want you to see this picture. But I've never seen like where a porcupine has blasted his needles at something.
I have seen pictures of big dogs a lot of times too, and man, they do get a face full.
Yeah, but this was a face full. No.
I got admiration for the courage of that dog. Like the first time.
Yes,
you
right.
You go back for more porcupine.
There's the deal. It's been like them people that's been married 5 or 6 times. I say this time is going to be different.
Listen.
And I don't mind getting a new mother-in-law. That's going to be different as well.
All right, we're going to take a short time out right here for news. We'll be back. We'll repeat our questions that have
heretofore
gone unanswered. Then we'll have 25 more minutes of education. So we'll see you back in a few minutes.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast may not necessarily reflect those of the American Family Association or American Family Radio.
faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio.
All God asks of you is faithfulness. Headlines in USA Today. Did you see it this morning? All the odds against us. Faithfulness is the word.
There's a place for you on the battle line. Engage in the fight for America's families. Visit AFA.net and then take your position. A message from the American Family Association.
This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
American Family News, I'm Steve Hugh. Israeli forces striking what they claim was an underground weapons facility in Syria. Mike Tobin has more from Tel Aviv.
This was a remarkably bold and aggressive operation from Israeli commandos, reportedly taking out a weapons production facility inside of Syria. The target, according to numerous reports, was officially called the Scientific Studies and Research Center in Masyaf, Syria, just north of Lebanon. Israel regarded it as a site where Iran and Hezbollah developed at one point chemical weapons, most recently short and medium-range precision weapons. Hezbollah reportedly preferred that site in Syria as opposed to Lebanon, with the belief that Israel would be more reluctant to attack inside of Syria. Israel had already struck at the site from the air without much effect because the important parts were built underground.
Factory workers at a major aircraft producer going on strike. Lauren Simonetti reports.
33,000 of those Boeing union employees agreed to go on strike after the manufacturing giant and the union had been in contract negotiations for the past week. This comes after the workers rejected the company's new contract offer because it didn't include the 40% pay hike that they were asking for, among other provisions. This is the first strike since the financial crisis in 2008, and it could throw a major wrench in Boeing's already fragile supply chain. The strike will likely lead to production delays at a time when Boeing is trying to increase production.
House Speaker Mike Johnson recently delaying a vote on a potential stopgap funding plan as the threat of a government shutdown looms at the end of the month. New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew says he thinks they may need to pass another short-term bill to keep the government funded, but emphasized the need to tack on the SAVE Act, which is opposed by Democrats.
All the SAVE Act says is that those who are not legal citizens in the United States of America cannot vote in federal elections. It's that simple. Every Democrat and every Republican should be for it.
Attorneys General urge Congress to require a Surgeon General's warning on social media platforms.
The National Association of Attorneys General is calling on lawmakers to pass legislation requiring a U.S. Surgeon General warning on all algorithm-driven social media platforms. The letter amid growing scrutiny of social media companies for their role in generational harm to young people's mental health. It cites research that links young people's use of the platforms to psychological harm, including depression, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts in kids and teens. Harms that last year led 45 states and D.C. to sue Meta, and many states to either investigate or actively sue TikTok. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The House has approved legislation known as the No WHO Pandemic Preparedness Treaty Without Senate Approval Act. More from Chris Woodward.
The bill from Representative Tom Tiffany of Wisconsin comes amid concerns that the U.S. may hand over sovereignty on things including health matters to the World Health Organization. The vote was 219 to 199. 4 Democrats joined all Republicans in voting yes. The measure now goes to the Senate for approval. Talking about this on Washington Watch, attorney Travis Weber of Family Research Council said people should be praying that this passes the Senate.
No American should want to blindly, willingly, and really without due diligence cede our sovereignty to a world governmental body like the WHO.
There are a lot of unknowns about a WHO pandemic preparedness treaty. This year's effort fell apart at the last minute as countries failed to come up with a plan for how the world might respond to the next pandemic.
This bill by Tom Tiffany would require Senate ratification and treatment of the agreement with the WHO as a treaty, require oversight and proper advice and consent by the Senate as any treaty would be given under our Constitution. But the fact of the matter is we need to know what's in it. And it's still being drafted. Things are being hashed out ever since the WHO, the World Health Assembly, which I went to last May in Geneva. This process is ongoing, and the WHO is driving it towards the end of this year, possibly into next year.
News outlets, including the Associated Press, say concerns over sovereignty are overblown. The Sovereignty Coalition, which was formed to fight this WHO treaty, have told AFN this is in fact real. I'm Chris Woodward.
American Family News is online at afn.net and on the AFN mobile app. I'm Rusty Pugh.
Every day, AFA offers biblical insight on issues that others aren't willing to touch in the hopes that you'll become a world changer. That's why we're offering an in-depth worldview training course called Activate. 13 different professors teaching 18 sessions, all available online, including a printed workbook to help you apply what you've learned and 1-year access to AFA streaming content to give you even more resources. Find out more about Activate and sign up today at activate.afa.net.
This is Trivia Friday. The number to call with your question or your answer to a question is 888-589-8840. Now, back to more Trivia Friday.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Trivia Friday. Tim, Ed, and JJ, thanks for listening to AFR on this Friday the 13th. That's right, Friday the 13th, September the 13th, what is it, Ed?
2024. I'm right on it. 20.
You get down life's road a little bit, you really don't want to hear those years roll on,
No,
do you?
you don't want to.
The other day, we're talking about 9/11. I'm going, that's been
23 years ago.
23 years ago. It does seem like it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
My daughter is a teacher / missionary in Africa, and everybody was talking about where they were and all this 9/11. She said, I wasn't born yet. And their jaw dropped. They just like, she's the only teacher there that doesn't remember, and she wasn't even born.
Yeah.
You're like, wow.
I know.
Ask them, you remember where you were when 9/11 happened? Well, I wasn't born.
I wasn't born, so no. That's the answer. All right, repeat our questions, and let's get back to the phones.
All right.
First-time callers.
I have 2 questions remaining. Counting probes and other unmanned spacecraft, how many planets have human beings landed on, not counting Earth?
Human beings?
Human beings.
Okay.
Yeah. And the second question I have remaining is this. Sharks fall into what class of animal, mammal or fish? Are sharks mammals or fish?
And that's usually not the question you're asking.
No, that's right. I'm not asking that.
You see a shark, you don't, I wonder if that's a mammal or a fish.
Let me get up a little closer and take a closer look.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit like I'd be wondering, is this a porpoise? Is this a dolphin or a shark coming towards this
I know.
catamaran I'm on?
You're trying to figure out what that dorsal is.
Yeah, but that you don't really want to you don't want to do that.
No.
All right, my turn?
Yes.
Here's what I've got. First question from the Bible. Where in the Bible does it say, for they have sown the wind, and they shall reap the whirlwind? Second question, this is true or false. In the Star Wars movie, James Earl Jones, as Darth Vader, said, Luke, I am your father. Is that true or false? Third question, I'll add one. What is the name of Dr. Seuss's egg-hatching elephant? What is the name of Dr. Seuss's egg-hatching elephant?
All right, my 2 questions that remain are as follows. What is the main ingredient in most bricks? It's not sand. Sand was guessed. That is a ingredient in bricks, but not the main ingredient. Number 2, there are 4 time zones in the continental United States. Name them, and don't use slang. I want the proper name for the time zones, the 4 time zones in the continental U.S. All right, let's go back to the phone.
All right. Texas has been big today. Texas, Wendy is in Texas.
Everyone knows it's.
Everyone knows it's Wendy. Wendy, good morning, well, I guess good morning for you. Welcome to Trivia Friday, Wendy. Yes, good morning.
I'm so excited. This is wonderful.
Well, thanks for calling. Where do you live there, Wendy?
I live in Jacksonville, which is deep East Texas. It's about 30 miles south of Tyler. I've heard you guys talk about Tyler before.
Tyler. Yeah, absolutely. You're in the pine trees where you are.
I am.
Yep.
I am.
Yep. Well, how long have you been listening to
goodness. as long as y'all have been available down here. I'm a delivery driver, and when I'm working, I drive 6 to 8 hours a day. I have y'all on all day long.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Absolutely.
Now, when you say the name of your town, do you have to, as soon as you say it, say not Florida? Is that the way you say where
Right.
you live?
There's also, I think, in North Carolina, Jacksonville, North Carolina.
There is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then what is that north of Little Rock? Is it Jackson? Is that called?
Are you thinking
I'm not
Jackson
sure about
Hole? They go there and ski all the time.
In Little Rock, north of Little Rock.
No.
Yeah.
Wyoming. I think
That's
is
wild.
Anyway, well, Wendy, thanks for listening
you
and
guys.
calling. And do you want to answer, answer, or both?
I'll do both.
Okay. Which question do you want to answer?
The main ingredient in bricks.
All right. What is the main ingredient in most bricks, Wendy?
I think it's clay.
Clay.
Nicely done.
Absolutely.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they bake it. It's clay, and they bake it. They've been doing that since the Israelites were slaves in Egypt, and getting straw and clay and baking bricks.
How did you know that, Wendy?
Kilns.
That's one of those useless facts that you kind of keep in the back of your head.
Yeah.
We all have too many of those.
Into that.
So, but that's when I looked it up, I didn't know either. I was thinking sand, but clay is actually the main
My
ingredient.
husband
Go
was
ahead.
big into all those. He'd watch all that stuff, all the trivia, and so I have lots of those little things dancing around in my head.
I got you. Well, hey, came in helpful today.
That's right.
That's why we can't remember phone numbers and stuff like that, Wendy's. We've got all those useless facts taking up space on the hard drive.
JJ, where did
That's
they?
right, but it comes in handy.
Just quickly, JJ. Just do they just? Are we talking about just get the clay out of the side of the hill?
Yeah,
and
clay out of the side of the hill. Put it in a form. Just like making pottery or whatever. Put it in a kiln. KILN. The brick capital of maybe the United States used to be Malvern, Arkansas. Brick kilns everywhere. But then they heat it up, and I don't know if they have to do it a couple of times, but that clay just gets hard, and there you have your bricks.
They add color at some point.
Probably, different.
Well, the other ingredients in bricks, including clay, is sand, lime, concrete, and something called fly ash.
Yeah, and in lime, a lot of times in Texas, you have a real adobe / type of hybrid between a brick and a block. Beautiful. It's kind of a yellow, yellow limestone.
I've got a
look
poster
that
in
you
my
got.
office of that.
Yeah.
I've got what you're describing.
Right. And a little fun fact, Wendy, I've laid thousands and thousands and thousands of bricks because you get paid by the thousand. Brick, block, and stone. One of the few jobs that you can't just be tired or have an off day or be having a Monday because you have to touch every single one. You get paid by the block, and then you get paid by the thousands of bricks.
Wow.
How many? You try to lay 1,000.
All right, Wendy, we're ready. Go ahead.
Okay, y'all might have had this before. What is the national animal of Scotland?
It is the unicorn, Wendy.
Oh, yeah. I thought y'all had that before.
Way to go, JJ.
That's all right.
I'm right there with Wendy. I got a lot of things useless rattling around in my head.
Is a unicorn?
I thought that was crazy.
Yeah. So unicorn, is that ever been considered anywhere in the world in history a real?
Here's the deal. If you're in Scotland, you ain't got no trouble with men wearing dresses, plaid dresses, and drinking a lot of straight whiskey. You'll see a unicorn every now and again. And that bagpipe music, a long bunch of that, it'll kind of get you going a little sideways. It'll get you a little bit crazy, a steady diet of bagpipe music.
I don't think in the modern world anyone considers unicorns to be real, but maybe in the dark ages or something like that, they might have. The same people who saw, fairies and.
Yeah.
Well, here's your thing. You just said modern world. You notice when we all got cell phones, you stopped seeing Loch Ness Monster and UFO sightings. Yeah.
Thank you, Wendy.
Yes,
Take
have a
care.
great day,
Thanks
Wendy.
for listening and listening to AFR throughout your day. So so that question has been answered. Clay is main ingredient in bricks. All right, go ahead, Ed.
All right, back to Arkansas, and Cherry is on the line. Cherry, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hey.
Is it Cherry or Sherry?
It's actually Cherie.
Cherie. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. I fouled off 2 pitches. So, all right, Cherie, the very lovely name.
Yes.
Where do you live in Arkansas?
I live in Pleasant Plains.
Okay.
In where?
Pleasant Plain.
Pleasant Plains.
That
It's in
sounds like a
between
nice place.
Batesville and Bald Knob.
Oh, it's in between Batesville and Bald Knob?
Yes,
like,
sir.
Like halfway?
Yeah, about halfway.
Hey, Cherie, I'm going to be in Batesville at the Pregnancy Center for a banquet in October, here in just about 3 weeks. So if you're nearby, you're invited. Batesville, Arkansas.
And you get a chance. Now, you don't want to miss a chance to hear JJ. He's not only he's extremely funny. You probably wouldn't recognize that by listening to him on this show, but ordinarily he's very funny.
Yeah.
And
we love his dad jokes.
And his dad jokes. He's famous for them, but he's also a very inspirational speaker and an excellent Bible teacher too. So
hey, and then thank you for that plug. In a rare move, Melanie's going to be with me.
Good.
So you'll get a chance to meet my sweet wife, Melanie, Batesville, Arkansas, in about 3 weeks. I don't have the date in front of me.
Okay.
And so what's the name of the?
It's Batesville, Arkansas. It's the pregnancy center there, and it's going to be a banquet. I'm so excited about it.
All right, Cherie, ask, answer, or do both.
I was just going to answer.
Okay, which one?
I was going to do the Star Wars one.
Oh, here we go. All right, this is a bit of a trick question. So here's the question.
Oh, okay.
Star Wars movie. Did James Earl Jones, as the voice of Darth Vader, say, "Luke, I am your father"? Is that true or false?
If I can remember correctly, I'm going to say it's false.
It is 100% false.
It is.
Here's what he said. He said, no. No, I am your father. He was talking to Luke, but he said, no, I am your father. And people have misquoted it for so many years. And the thing about if you tell a lie, so many times people go, I know it's a fact. Everybody that quotes it says, Luke, I'm your father. He didn't say that in the movie. He said, no, I am your father. And here's another one to add to that. Bogart never actually said, play it again, Sam. He did not say that.
He said, play it again.
He said,
right?
Play it, Sam.
Oh, play it, Sam.
It's kind of, they call it the Mandela effect.
What is that?
That's where people, they go, wait a second. No, I know that's what Darth Vader said, but the wrong thing has been drilled in for so long.
That's right.
They actually have it wrong.
So you got it correct. He said no.
Cherie got it correct.
Yeah, Cherie. No, I am your father. So way to go, Cherie. Did you know that, or had you heard that's one of those things like it's not in the Bible? God helps those who help themselves. It's just one of those things we've heard so long.
No, I knew it because I have a brother who is a fan of Star Wars. So.
Okay, so like Star Wars Day, he dresses up, right?
Well, he's not that big. Like, he's not that crazy fan.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say, no, he's dressed up right now as us.
Right, anticipating Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
All right, Cherie.
May the 4th.
You didn't have a question for us, did you, Cherie?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay.
Hey, Cherie, go to jjjasper.com. Get the info. Seriously, I'd love to see you. Bring some friends to that banquet here in just a few weeks in early October.
Okay, we got like 11,
Thank you, Cherie.
11 minutes, so repeat our questions.
All right, I still have 2 remaining. The first one is, counting probes and other unmanned spacecraft, how many planets have human beings landed on, not counting Earth? And then my other question is, sharks fall into what class of animal? Are they mammals or fish?
Here's what I've got. Bible question. Where in the Bible does it say, for they have sown the wind and they shall reap the whirlwind? Where does it say in the Bible, for they have sown the wind and they shall reap the whirlwind? Mm-hmm. And then second question, what is the name of Dr. Seuss's egg-hatching elephant? What is the name of Dr. Seuss's egg-hatching elephant?
An egg-hatching elephant.
Egg-hatching elephant. Yeah, that's the kind
He's
of
having
zoo.
an off day right there.
Well, you want to go to the zoo, and that's the first thing because you get tired towards the end of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to go home and go, I wish I'd seen that egg hatching elephant.
An elephant laying.
So
an
make
egg.
sure and go to that exhibit first.
All right, my question is this. There are 4 time zones in the continental United States. I want you to name them and name them with their proper names, not slang. Okay? All right, go ahead, Ed, back to the phones.
All right. We're going to go to Pennsylvania, and Donald is on the line. Donald, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Thank you. First time caller.
Yeah, good to hear from you, Donald.
Thank you.
You live in Franklin or Oil City, or where do you live?
Somerset County, Berlin, PA.
Okay. But that's north of Pittsburgh.
About 5 miles from where the airplane went down in Shanksville.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, Donald, thanks for calling, my friend. You want to ask, answer, or both?
Both, and before I answer both, I would like to make a correction. About 2 weeks ago, you had some old gentleman called, did both questions, and the one was about a cow with the magnet being in the stomach, and you weren't sure about that. That's a very true statement.
Yeah, we came back and corrected that because we heard from people that they do put a magnet in a cow's stomach to collect little bits of nails and things they might have eaten in the pasture. Oh, yeah, you guys weren't here. We had I think Kendra and Brother Bert were here. Somebody said you put a magnet down a cow's throat and it collects all the little bits of metal that they just have accidentally.
And you take it all back out.
And I thought I told the guy somebody's pranking you, and we had 4 or 5 callers quickly said, no, it's a real thing.
Oh, I'm not generally a PETA supporter. But I'm going to go with him on this one. Ramming a magnet down a cow's throat? Huh?
There's actually an intern position available.
Is that
at veterinarian?
I don't want to eat that steak. Huh? Do you? Bring you steak at Outback and got a little piece of magnet in there?
Well, but
don't tell me that couldn't happen.
It'd be better than a nail. So
Marlene, get in here. I know it's Friday the 13th, but let me tell you what crazy things happen. I got this steak cooked up, and the salt shaker keeps moving over here towards it. I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life.
All right,
hey, thanks for the correction, but we did come back and correct that.
Yeah.
I missed last Friday, so I didn't know if it was made or not, because I was one of them that called in and left a message.
Good. Yeah. Hey, you want to ask, answer, or do both?
Both, please.
Which one you want to answer?
I'll do the shark.
All right, here's the question, Donald. Sharks fall into what class of animal? Are they mammal or fish?
Mammal.
No, sir, they are fish. I know a lot of people think they're mammals because of porpoises and dolphins, but they are fish.
What makes a difference?
Well, mammals are warm-blooded. Fish aren't.
Give birth to a baby and not an egg.
Yeah, there's some other differences.
Well, I'll tell you another. The B side to that question is they put a magnet down a shark's throat whenever they eat bits and pieces. Like if, somebody's watch or different things, when they're kind of going along with their diet, they don't want that to harm the shark.
Open his mouth, Bill.
No, it's not Bill. It's a guy on Mutual Omaha.
Yes.
Out there in a rubber dinghy.
Hold that shark's mouth open.
Jim, reach down in there.
Marlon Perkins.
Place that magnet down in
Marlon
that
Perkins, Mutual of Omaha. Jim is going to put a magnet down the shark's mouth. Go, Jim, go.
Hell, Jim went, all right.
All right. Hey, Donald, hey, it's good try. It's a little bit tricky.
What's your question for us, Donald?
What is the highest peak in Somerset County?
Oh, everybody knows that.
The highest peak, Pikes is taken, right? Yeah.
And the Himalayas, they're a little bit over from there.
Yes.
Hey, Donald. We could guess 100 years. All three of us.
Mount Davis. It's like at 3,300 feet elevation.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Are you talking? Are you near Franklin or Oil City? Or are you somewhere else?
I'm in somewhere else. Have you heard of Snyder's of Berlin potato chips?
I've heard of it, but what I'm asking, So you're in Central Pennsylvania?
I'm probably 60 miles from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. I have heard of those potato chips. Haven't had them, but I've traveled around, heard of them. All right. Thank you, Brother
Thank you,
Donald.
buddy. Have a great weekend.
Donald from Pennsylvania. Go ahead next. Who's next?
All right. Back to Texas, and Bill is on the line. Bill, welcome to Trivia Friday, sir.
Howdy.
Howdy, Bill. I like that.
I'll do both.
Hey, Bill, what part of Texas?
Yeah.
I'm from Hooks, Texas. It's on 30 in Bowie County, Northeast Texas, about 13 miles from Texarkana.
Okay. Hey, if you got any friends north of Dallas, not tomorrow, but next Saturday, I'm going to be in Bonham, Texas. Fannin Pregnancy Center, New Life Cottage, multi-purpose center there, and for a pregnancy resource center banquet. If you have any friends over there, let them know they're invited.
My daughter lives in North Fort Worth, almost to Denton County.
Okay, good. Well, it's a ticketed event, and it's a week from tomorrow. Hey, ask, answer, or do both, sir?
I'll do both.
Which one you want to answer?
The time zone.
Okay, Bill, here's the question. The continental United States has 4 time zones. Name them with their proper titles, their proper names.
Okay, Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific.
Yep, you got it. You got it, Bill.
What's the
Absolutely.
slang?
Yeah, what was the slang?
Well, a lot of people, for example, will say West Coast time.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
They'll say New York time, East Coast time.
Okay.
So it's Bill got it right. It's Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Pacific time zones.
Good.
Yeah.
I was glad he was very Pacific about giving us that last one.
Hey, Bill, what's your question for us?
Okay, it's kind of a 2-part. There's 2 self-contained black powder centerfire cartridges the U.S. Army adopted in 1873, one for a handgun, one for a long gun. Do you know what those are? They both have made a successful transition to smokeless powder.
Yeah.
Boy,
you got smokeless tobacco.
Jonathan Coker, who is our
he might know.
He would know. Yeah, he has.
Get him in here.
Hey, we're almost out of time,
minutes, so we better. What's the answer? We don't know.
Okay, for the cartridge for the handgun, it's the 45, and some people today's language call it 45 long Colt.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the long gun cartridge, it's the 45-70 government, and people take it in lever action rifles to Africa and kill anything that walks the planet with heavy loads and heavy bullets, heavy hard bullets, kind of load that kills on both ends, you might say.
Wow. Hey,
Bill,
thanks for that info.
We are out of time. Sorry to rush that. I had questions about hunting lions and elephants, but we've got to get our answers.
45-70 government, that's what Peyton Manning used to yell out. And he said,
right after Omaha.
Omaha.
All right, counting probes and other unmanned spacecraft, human beings, not counting Earth, have landed on Mars and Venus, 2 planets.
Where in the Bible does it say, for they've sown the wind?
I'm going to guess Amos.
And they shall reap the whirlwind. It's Hosea.
Okay.
Hosea 8:7. And that was the mystery question. Name of Dr. Seuss's egg-hatching elephant? Horton the elephant.
Horton hears a who.
Yeah, there you go.
You got anything left, Tim?
Nope. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.